Hi everybody, this is Anne. One very popular pottery technique is to create what is called Agateware. Agateware is wedging different colored clays together, then throwing it on the wheel. When the piece is first formed, the outer skin has a gray, thick layer of slip covering it, which is usually pretty ugly. Why this technique is so popular is because of what is underneath. That is a beautiful marbled surface. There are many ways to carve the surface to reveal that layer, and in this video, I'll show you 3 of them. Of course, the first thing you need to do is create the colored clay. For this project, I took out the mason stains that I had in my supplies and chose 3 different shades of blue. I mixed those with clay scraps and then let them dry to a throwing consistency. If you'd like more details about how I do this, check out the link to the video, The Colored Slip Experiments. Here are the different colors I'm using for these projects. I wedged them together in the stack on the left. On the right is the pure white clay. I thought alternating stacks of them would be fun. I centered it on the wheel, then pulled it up to form a nice mug shape. The most obvious way to get rid of that top smeared slip layer is to trim it off in a horizontal fashion using a wide trimming tool. Let's see what's under there. There it is. The blues are a bit light at this stage, but you can see the nice marbled pattern. So let's dig a little deeper. Here's a mug I threw earlier and let dry to leather hard. Using a loop carver, I'm going to create a swirl down the entire piece. The candy cane pattern adds another layer of texture to the surface, plus it reveals more of the marbling underneath. I can't wait to glaze that. I love that the carved swirl pulls your eye down and around the mug, so you connect to the individual marbling pattern on the surface. Here's another mug that I threw and let dry to leather hard. I divided it into 9 sections. I'm going to experiment with a cheese cutter to see if I can cut these strips. It's not quite the sharpest wire, but it's doing the job. I still need to clean and sharpen the edges as the clay gets a bit stiffer. Here's one that I made earlier where you can see that I cleaned it up. Look at the cool marbling. By cutting it vertically, the tool is revealing different depths of the clay so that more of the layers show on the surface. Now here it is all finished. I simply glazed it with the Amico C11 Clear. You can see how the glaze darkened the mason stains and intensified the colors. Very lovely. Now let's try this on a bowl. I started like the mugs with a larger stack of white clay and a smaller stack of the blue. I didn't alternate this time, but just placed the blue over top of the white. I centered the clay on the bat and threw it into a large bowl form with a flared rim. Now, to skim the ugly slip layer off the inside of the bowl, I used a metal rib. I'm going to set that aside to dry. Here's a bowl I made earlier that's now leather hard. I trimmed the bottom and now I want to flute the rim. As I've only done this a few times, I thought I'd pencil in where I'm going to carve to map out my plan first. I'm just using a small loop carving tool for this. There's no special twists or turns, just simply carving through the colored layers. You can easily see how the vertical line cuts interact with the horizontal marbling of the clays to accent the rim of the bowl. Subtle, but very elegant. And look at the outside, the blue marbling carries down the body. It looks like a seascape to me. Again, I just used the Amico C11 to glaze the piece. The glaze darkened the mason stain so the pattern shows up even nicer than it was in the leather hard state. I love the randomness that you get with the marbling. I just showed you 3 ways to carve into an agateware piece, but there's so many more ways to experiment with and so many other forms of pottery to use as a canvas for it. Let your imagination run wild. Thanks to the newest members of our Little Street Pottery Research Facility team. If you'd like to join the team and earn a title, click on the Super Thanks button or the link to buy me a coffee. It also really helps us out if you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. See you next time in the studio.
Your daddy was Scotty on Star Trek.